So welcome back again to section 2, which is all about choosing pleasure. And now we're going to look at the second way of choosing pleasure, and that is choosing pleasurable thoughts. So in this diagram, we've got painful thoughts on the left-hand side of the screen, and they lead down with an arrow to pain. Because we believe that it's not our circumstances that causes pain, but it's our thoughts about our circumstances, it's the thoughts about ourselves that are causing pain. So of course, we want to change our painful thoughts to pleasurable thoughts. So in this section, we're not going to look at how you're going to change your painful thoughts over to pleasurable thoughts, but we're just going to focus on pleasurable thoughts and what we do with our pleasurable thoughts that create more pleasurable thoughts. So let's focus on the pleasurable thoughts. And in this second diagram, they lead to pleasure and they also lead to action. We'll take action based on how good we feel. We're feeling great, we're feeling wonderful. We're going to do certain things, we're going to say certain things, and that will have results which will feed back into creating more pleasurable thoughts, and we'll feel even better about ourselves. So being aware of this cycle in this diagram helps us reinforce the pleasurable thoughts we already have, and it helps generate even more pleasurable thoughts, so it keeps the whole pattern going. It makes it easier for us to keep with those pleasurable thoughts we already have. And that's what we're really looking at in this second way of choosing pleasure, is how we keep the choice for pleasure going in our mind, how we choose more pleasure, how we feel better and better. So let's look at a few examples. If we're feeling hurt and betrayed over the last will of my father, which was done by my sister and brother behind my back, then we're probably going to keep that thought of betrayal, that whole cycle going by taking action that reinforces those painful thoughts. And one of the actions might be to tell our brother and sister what we think about them, and then tell as many friends and other people as well. And of course that action will feed back into our painful thoughts and keep them going. We think they might make us feel better if we get it off our chest and really tell people how they've hurt us, but it doesn't. It just reinforces our painful thoughts that we're vulnerable, that we're betrayed, that we've been hurt. So let's imagine for a moment that we've changed our thought from betrayal to having a thought that maybe our brother and sister might be in financial difficulties. So that thought certainly feels a bit better, but to really reinforce that thought, we need to take action to get different results. So of course, one action could be to phone them up and ask them, do they need any financial help? Express some concern, connect with them on the level of where they are. And of course, that would reinforce and support the thought that your brother and sister might have financial difficulties. Of course, you might find out that they don't, but taking action on that thought just helps us choose pleasure. So let's look at another example. I feel rejected by my family. So the thought here is my family is rejecting me. So let's imagine we have a better feeling thought in our minds. Maybe the thought is, I want to have more time with my family. I want to spend more time with my family. I want to connect with them. So I take the action. I invite them over for the next weekend, invite them over to spend some time. And that action, of course, will reinforce your thought that you want to connect with them. There's not much point in having the thought that feels better. I want to spend more time with my family and not do anything about that. That thought of pleasure would automatically inspire you to action that will support the thought. So another example is, I have not enough money for paying my debts. I feel bad because I think I'm not responsible with my ordinary life. So the painful thought here is, I'm not responsible. And if we had this better feeling thought that the amount of money I have is just perfect for me to learn how to take control of my thoughts and create what I want financially. So the thought is really the situation is just perfect. The amount of money I have in the bank is just perfect for me to learn something really important for my next stage of growth, for where I am in my life right now. All the circumstances are just perfect. So that is a wonderful feeling thought if we really believe that. And it would be then important to take action on that. Action might be I'll write down all the thoughts and belief I have about money, lack, and deserving, being worthy. So I'd write all those down because I'd be wanting to take control of my thoughts. I want to create something else, and I would see how my thinking was really blocking me, keeping me where I am, creating the circumstances that I have in my life. And therefore I would want to write all those thoughts and beliefs down so I could have a look at them. That action would reinforce the thought. That would help me change the situation and think differently about myself.